All right, so we are back with another one. This one came across my For You page on YouTube, and I think I watched like the first 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and I was like, I might as well save this for a video. So here we are for you guys. Now, before I get into the video, from what I've seen, this definitely looks like the type of game I would play. And I know all my third person kings out there probably looking for something to play, or even a PvP game, because PvP is in the dirt if you don't have a home game. A home game is just a main game that you always play. Uh, I retired Apex Legends. Don't really care for Call of Duty Warzone like that. And Fortnite is just it's fun sometimes or whatever. But anyway, I digress. Let's jump into this video.
Hello guys, it's Minder, and I'm bringing you a video about Bandai Namco's latest mecha shooter, currently in beta. It's called Synduality. As you can see, the title continues the time-honored Japanese trend of Frankensteining two English words together. But what is Synduality? As briefly as possible, it's the latest in a line of Escape from Tarkov clones, except it has mechs and anime wives who float around your mechs. Amusingly, if you destroy an enemy player, you can steal their waifu and sell her for a lot of money. It's kind
Wait, what? Wait. So you kill somebody and take their waifu and sell her.
What?
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds hella crazy, man.
your mechs. Amusingly, if you destroy an enemy player, you can steal their waifu and sell her for a lot of money. It's kind of like the dog tag system in Tarkov, I guess. Even more so than other clones, it really does follow the Tarkov formula of game extremely closely. It's a PvEVP game where you put together a kit in the garage, then deploy into a large map with lots of NPC enemies and a few other players. Your objective is to escape with valuable loot and complete quests in the various factions of the game to unlock better shop items and crafting recipes. There are also already menu items for speeding up crafting with real-life money, so it's a safe assumption that this game will have pay-to-win mechanics on release. This game leans heavier into the PvE side of things than Tarkov does. When you start the game, you're part of the vanilla faction called the Association. If you destroy a few enemy players, you will get ejected from the Association and placed into a new faction called the Black Market.
Damn.
It is possible to buy your way back in, though. These are basically parallel factions for PvP players. Currently, the Black Market provides the same quests and the same rewards as the default factions, but this could be different on release. You also lose access to the vanilla map, and you can only deploy on a new map exclusively for Black Market players.
Wait a minute. So, from my understanding, I could just turn up, start killing shit, and then I will automatically get put on my own separate island, PvP island, and with a whole bunch of other PvP players. Because PvE player, I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm getting. And I mean, I guess it'll work. I mean, I don't know. I guess.
Functionally, this means that PvE players and PvP players don't interact much. I kind of like the idea because there's always friction between these groups in these kinds of games. Probably the biggest innovation of the game is the Magus, which is Synduality's word for the anime girl who floats around your mech and assists you in various ways. She almost constantly speaks throughout the duration of a match, which does make it pretty impossible to hear what's going on at times. This is made worse by the game's audio mixing. For example, the sound of your mech sprinting is probably the loudest noise in the game, which is not great since you will be hearing it almost constantly. Anyway, back to the anime wife. I'm pretty sure half of the game's budget was devoted exclusively to developing her. The first time you play the game, there's a long, expensive-looking animated lore cinematic, possibly made by the studio that made this game's anime tie-in. You then get to select whether you want a husbando or a waifu, name them, select their support ability, and customize their appearance. But that's not all. You can also play waifu dress-up in the hangar.
Damn.
Everything from spats to tactical camouflage tradwife dresses is present here. And you might want to make sure you like looking at your waifu because you will be seeing her a lot. The game has a tremendous number of expensive looking animations and cinematics of your waifu doing random activities, both in raids and in the hangar. Actually, almost everything in the game seems to take a backseat to giving the player constant exposure to the anime wife. I laughed pretty hard when I first used the Magus ability in a raid and a cinematic played of the anime girl casting magic while I was sitting stationary and helpless in the middle of a fight. You will quickly realize that Synduality's developers are either not familiar with making PvP games, or they are so bogged down with mandates from higher up in Bandai Namco that they are prevented from making good decisions.
Oh,
and here
my
we're getting to
God.
the essential problem of the game, which is that the gameplay is not fun.
What?
You have a turn rate limit for your mech, and let me tell you, that is not a satisfying mechanic for a shooter game. As soon as you spawn into a raid, you notice that the mouse input just feels wrong. The game also has pretty aggressive aim.
Man, listen. I was counting this game in. Bro, why do we always get these games that's like this? Like, good concept as far as, you know, a third person mech Tarkov-like game. And they just fail so bad, bro. What is going on in the PvP world, bro? What's really going on? I really need answers. Good games get took off of playlists. Warzone. Like, bro.
Aim assist for controllers, which I don't really see the point of because this game has absolutely massive hitboxes to begin with and a very low time to kill. The only thing that might prevent you from insta-killing enemies as soon as you notice them is the fact that the game is in third person, and it is often very difficult to tell when you're actually peeking a corner because of the strange origin point of your projectiles. The map geometry is also not really trimmed properly for a shooter game. One gets the impression that it was outsourced and nobody told the contractor that the map was going to be used for a shooter.
Damn.
The movement also feels pretty bad. It's very slow overall, and the only mechanics are a slow forward sprint,
killing me,
jumping,
man.
and short
Killing
horizontal
me.
dashes that have pretty heavy recovery time where you cannot shoot. The overall design philosophy of Synduality makes for a pretty unsatisfying experience. It just
Godly.
doesn't feel good to move around the map and shoot things.
I ain't gonna lie. This man is crushing all my hopes and dreams in this video, in this 8-minute video. We got about what? 3 minutes to go. This man is crushing me. I'm like, yeah, this game look alright. I watched 10 seconds of it. Here we are, damn near 5 minutes in. It's what's the point of getting it?
And this isn't contingent on anything that can be fixed, but more so the overall design choices of the game. It's designed like an excessively casual console game where there is almost no skill check involved in fights. You kind of just notice players and instantly destroy them, or you are noticed and instantly destroyed yourself. The PvE is no better and feels, for lack of a more descriptive word, pretty janky. The game's NPC enemies feel more annoying than anything else with how incredibly common and bullet spongy they are. I'll take a moment here to say that the game is also pretty heavy to run. At 1080p, Synduality consumes about 40% of my 4090 on the highest settings, and this kind of thing generally doesn't change from beta to release. It's also locked to...
Yeah, bro. I don't even know if I need to watch the rest of this video. Bro said 40% on a 4090? What? Huh? Bro, that's
62
crazy, bro.
FPS, the default frame rate cap for Unreal Engine, but this could very well change upon release, and it should. There's no excuse for a shooter game to be locked to 60 FPS. Even consoles can do 120 nowadays. Actually, this reminds me that the game's design is overall very console-y. The menus are quite annoying to navigate on PC, which sucks because you do a lot of menuing in Tarkov-like games. So anyway, how would I fix Synduality? I think first of all, the two faction choices of the game need to go deeper. I would make the PvP factions give out some PvP related quests and reduce the PvE spawns on the
That
PvE
recoil look
map.
crazy. Let's just aim his
After all,
ass.
players who have made that faction choice are more interested
I'm
in
pretty sure it's the
PvP.
recoil though.
The
Goodness
basic
gracious.
PvP experience of the game would actually be very difficult to improve now that they've settled on such large player models and hitboxes. If I had to provide a quick and easy solution, I would say that they should at the very least make the critical hit zones much smaller. Currently there is little to no finesse involved in landing a headshot on your enemy, and it's basically just random extra damage that you get. Thinking about this subject, I realized that everything would play much better if the game was not third person, but I get the feeling that this is one of those Bandai Namco mandates that was designed to sell cosmetic items in the future. I don't really understand it myself.
Well, we want
because
all
people
our
buy
third-person
cosmetics
games.
in
I don't give a care if
first-person
it's his
shooters.
ass.
Just ask Overwatch players about their addiction to $40 color swaps. People don't need to constantly see their equipped skin in order to enjoy showing off their cosmetics. I would also like to see the movement speed of the game increased, better feedback for weapon line of sight when peeking cover, and a much higher top end for turn speed when putting together your mech. In order for Synduality to be really fun as a PvP game, I think you would have to redesign the weapons to fire slower, fatter projectiles, sort of arena shooter style weapon design. I can't envision this game ever being particularly fun with these colossal hitboxes and the current hit-scan-like weapons. In its current form, Synduality certainly won't be grabbing any players from Tarkov, who at minimum
Damn.
expect a game where aim and movement finesse has some level of impact.
Damn.
For these reasons, I wouldn't really recommend the game. I think the fundamental design problems of Synduality are too great and it doesn't know what kind of game it wants to be. If you want PvP or PvE or a waifu experience, there are far better games for each of those individual things.
He did a waifu
Sooner or
experience.
later,
Crazy.
game developers will learn that you cannot take your idea and clumsily make it into an Escape from Tarkov clone and print free money. But today is not that day, I guess. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Feel free to follow the channel or check out my Twitch in the description. There will likely be videos about upcoming games on this channel now and again, and if a game gets its hooks into me, it's probably going to be gameplay videos and guides and that sort of thing. But till next time.
Alright, man, so I don't even know what to say, bro. I'm not gonna lie. At 10 seconds, I was like, "Ooh, this looks pretty nice," but bro just dismantled. He just rained on all my parade, man. For the hunt, we get back to it. For the hunt, we get back to it for a great third-person shooter, or just a shooter in general, or a game in general, bro. Like PvP is down bad, bro. I can't go back to the big three. I refuse to go back to the big three. But yeah, I mean, I was gonna give this game a shot, but I think I'll pass on that, bro. 4090 running at 40%. Yeah, my computer's gonna explode. Oh, until next time, y'all. GG's.